Hey everyone, and welcome back to our Cities Skylines Let's Play. Episode 5 today, and last time around what did we do? We set up our forestry industry, so that is going brilliantly. So lots of forestry over here, and we can also expand a fair way up the coast, which will be great. Set up some more commercial over here in preparation for creating another residential suburb over this way. Lots of residential and stuff set up, which is good. Lots of residential demand though, so we're going to have to do something about that. So I think that is going to be our first priority for today. And what I was actually thinking is, rather than sort of doing what we've done here, is quite sort of densely packed housing and all that kind of stuff, we're actually going to start doing a little bit more sparsely populated as we move sort of further out from the city. So what I thought we might actually sort of start with is sort of set up some like working quarters, or workers' quarters for our forestry industry. So put that over in this place somewhere. I'm not really quite sure where we're going to do it. If we look at noise pollution, so we want to basically steer clear of as much noise pollution as we possibly can. So I'm thinking if we could potentially sort of put it maybe in this area, and then sort of have some few houses around the coast as well. Sort of probably makes a little bit of quite a bit of sense to me, I guess. So that's what I think we're going to aim for. So maybe sort of build out into this area and go from there. I'm actually toying up whether we get rid of our sort of our main road coming through here, and whether we sort of just go completely into gravel roads. So I think sort of out in this area we're definitely going to have all gravel roads, but if you sort of build around here, I suppose not. I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it? So yeah, okay, that's what we're going to do. So we'll start off with that. So we're going to build our gravel roads. Where are we going to build those? So we have our freeform and our snap is off, which is good. So I think we're going to probably come out from like here maybe. So come out this way, just around here like that, and then we can sort of build some houses probably on the inside here, maybe a few over here. We've got a few spots over here as well that we can build, and we'll get rid of these while we're building. We'll get rid of all our power lines here, and we can reset them up a little bit later. So we've got a little bit. That means we'll have a little bit more zoned area to play with. So back to our roads. What are we going to do? I think we're going to do something like come down and around there. So it's like I'm sort of going for like trying to create like a little bit of a like sort of a little bit of an enclosed area. Quite tight-knit little houses and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going for, but we'll see how it works out. So I thought might come around this way, and then actually, if we can do it, come around into here like this. And I think this is probably going to be basically all of the housing that we're going to set up in this area. It may just sort of make some different things, like sort of have a bit of a road coming in there like that, and that should be pretty good. We can set up some houses along here and along here as well, which would be good. May sort of end up moving our services as well, so sort of might keep that in mind. But I think they're probably okay there for the moment. We won't worry too much about that. So what we're going to do is basically, to make it look a little bit more sparsely populated, we'll sort of employ this trick here, and then I think sort of if we build back from the road over here, I think that's what we're going to do. So basically we're just going to go for a little bit of a more sparsely populated look, and we're just going to do that by basically missing some areas or some housing and stuff here, and sort of just set up a little bit more of a random pattern to our housing, and fill in like the gaps and stuff with trees, and it just looks a little bit more rural. So that's the look that we're going for, and I think we're actually sort of once we start expanding through this way, that's sort of the look we're going to go for. Sort of start having a little bit more, slowly start bringing a little bit more sparsely populated until we sort of get out this way, and it'll be definitely a lot more gaps and stuff around. But I think it makes sense to have sort of the coast still fully populated, because that's, logically a lot of people want to live by the coast, so they're probably going to prefer to live there than sort of inland. So that's what we're going to go for. So what we're going to do here we are actually going to paint in. So you can actually do blocks. So if it shows up, which it wasn't, it's like that. So you can actually sort of paint in like full blocks, but I'm actually not going to want to do that. So like for this one here, we may not want the whole block to actually be populated, so we might just do sort of half it or something like that, and just makes it a little bit more, you know, just a little bit different. So what we're going to do is just set up a whole bunch of housing like this, and do there, and there, and these ones here. And try and sort of make no real pattern or anything that we can sort of come up against. Try and make it a little bit random. See what we've got and all that kind of stuff. So make yourself some of them. And set up some housing over here by the water, probably for the managers or something like that. So the richer people. And what else? I probably don't want to go around too far, so there's like quite a bit of noise pollution in this area. So probably this is what really all we need at the moment. So we may do this and sort of just build around this way. This, and we'll leave it up there and come over here and just some housing there. So this is quite, I mean, it's like very, very simple technique, obviously, but it is quite sort of a bit interesting and just changes things up a little bit. If you're sort of getting a little bit bored of the standard look of the cities and all that kind of stuff, it just sort of does give you some different options and all that kind of stuff. So highly encourage you to check it all out if you feel like it. So I'm going to put some more down here, and this should be about it. I suppose we should probably build through here, shouldn't we, as well? May actually leave that for the moment, sort of see what this ends up looking like, see if we sort of think we need to. Because I suspect this probably will end up being a fairly busy road, so we probably don't want too many cars and stuff on there, or too many houses and stuff on there, but we'll see how we go there. So, alright, so that's pretty good for now. So we're just going to keep running the game, put it up to speed 2, and see how we go. Starting to get some more industrial demand as well, so I think we're actually going to expand out our industry. So what we're going to do first is actually put it all down through here. And also partly away through here, probably to there, and through here, and I think probably that's about it. So we probably want to keep some of this area clear in case we want to make any changes to our roads or anything like that. Getting a sewage problem, why would that be? Sewage treatment, why has that happened? Why has that happened? Why has that happened? We did connect this up, didn't we? So we ran out of power again. No, we haven't. Not enough electricity. Oh, that would be because, silly me, didn't reconnect our electricity lines. Oh dear, that's not a very smart move. So what we're going to do is actually run it from here backwards so we don't impact our other lines. I suppose we could actually run it through here, couldn't we? Yeah, we could do. So all this area's got power, which is fine. So we could actually, I'll just leave it that way. That should be pretty much fine. So all of our stuff should kick in pretty quickly. Yep, and storage should come back up to normal. Yep, there we go. So problem sorted, which is good. Nothing to worry about, which is fantastic. So, like we said, we have a lot of industrial demand, so we sort of expanded out in this area. We can actually definitely expand out. So look at our natural resources. We can expand up through this area as well, and sort of inland a little bit further than what we are. So I mean, it's not hugely dense, especially not over this area, but yeah, that's definitely have the option to do that. So that will be pretty good. What I'm actually going to do, just to sort of add to the the feel of it all, I'm actually going to add in, if we can get a bigger tree, maybe that one, or what about this one? Probably this one, I think. I'm actually just going to basically put down a whole bunch of trees in this area, sort of make it quite densely populated. Sort of it is like a forestry area, so sort of make it just a little bit more densely forested all the way through here. And a bit later on, we're also going to add in some paths and stuff through the forest. Thinking I may actually sort of get some different paths if I can at all, possibly. And you know, just a little bit of different ones, and see if that will sort of work at all. So that probably looks a little bit better. Just makes it a little bit more forestry, doesn't it? Or foresty, I should say. So keep the game going. And it does actually add to our sort of our forest capacity, I guess. So more trees equals more forestry, so that works out quite well. So that is good. So you see some of our houses coming in here, and once this area is sort of built up a little bit more, we're actually going to need some more water pipes, so we're going to run through there like that. We'll actually come in and sort of put some trees down and things like that, and just make it look a little bit more filled in, rather than sort of just random gaps in the place, which sort of looks like at the moment. So we'll do that a little bit later. So our industry is building up, which is good. Oh my god, I can't believe, did we put houses down there? Oh, we did too. That is terrible, guys. Should be on live stream. So we're going to take all of this out, and all of those houses will go. I was wondering why this area didn't build up as quick as what it was. Oh, dearie me. Alright, so going to rezone all of this place like this. Probably stop there and come down here to about there. So there we go. I think that's a little bit better than having houses there. So that's good. So that should fix, have our industry demand going down, and also start building out these, building out this area a little bit more as well, which would be good. So that should be pretty much good. So I've had a fair bit of it built in at the moment, but still sort of come in. So we'll just leave that for a little while. So what else do we want to do? House with a big orange roof there. It's a bit of a funny looking house, isn't it? Interesting. So what do we want to do? Where do we want to go? So we've got a few abandoned buildings. This is because we didn't put down, or I didn't put down a high school quick enough. So basically they've ran out of well-educated workers, and they've shut down because they can't afford to continue to operate. So it's definitely not something you want to make a habit of, but it's not the end of the world. We do have a high school now, and that should fix that problem quite quickly. And the commercial will or should come back up again quite quickly, so we won't worry too much about that. So our high school there is operating quite well, lots of students, and starting to get some more well-educated people, and they should move into some of these businesses and things quite soon. So we'll just demolish those, they'll get rebuilt by themselves, which is fine. Sort of just nice little lesson for you guys there, just make sure that you put down the services and stuff quite quickly, and you don't sort of run into any problems like that. So, all our demands are quite low, which is quite good. There's a weird smell coming from the apartment next door. What does a hashtag dead person smell like? Which means we are going to start needing some cemeteries, or a cemetery. So, where is our cemetery? Where does that leave? I assume it's probably in here. Does it have... So it has no pollution or noise pollution, so we can actually basically put it anywhere. Wondering if we sort of put it here, maybe sort of right in here. Sort of build, if you can bring a road maybe through here, build our cemetery sort of in here. I think that sort of could be a good way to go, rather than sort of building a separate area. Maybe sort of have this as a cemetery area over here. Mine's not going to be one of our more expensive areas, so if you look at land value, so definitely along the coast and sort of a little bit inland as well is going to be the expensive area. So this is probably not going to be one of those. So I think that's what we're actually going to do, guys. Is going to build a road. So we get a road sort of right to the end here. No, we can't. What about over here? We actually sort of go... May have to demolish one of our houses. Which is not ideal, but I think we'd still probably prefer to do that. Yeah. I suppose we could put it somewhere over here, couldn't we? I guess. No, I'm going to go with this. So even if we have to demolish our house, it's not the end of the world. So we're going to do this, come in through this way, and can we fit it in there? We can. Oh, I'll have to demolish them there, but that's fine. They'll get over it. So, just probably going to fix up this and there. Oh my god. Not industrial, residential. There we go, that's a bit better. So, what we're going to do, I think, is actually sort of... so it has to be placed on a road. So what I thought it might do is just do something really quick. Hopefully this works. Just do something like this and that, and no, don't snap there. So what are we going to do? What about freeform? Can we do that? Why is that not working? Space already occupied. What about if we do this? there, hook this up there, and hook that one up there like that. That's better. That's what we were aiming for. It's a bit of a funky little intersection there, but I think it may be cool. So what we're going to do, come back into, get our cemetery. I'm going to put our cemetery down right here. So there we go. So we can have our people come in and go to the cemetery to bury their loved ones and put down some trees. Probably think that a cemetery area would be quite heavily forested, I guess. What we're going to do is put down some shrubs or bushes through here, like that. So I just do that. A few more around the place, over here, here, here. And some trees. A few more. So there we go. This should get built in quite quickly as well. So that's quite good. So there we go. Have our cemetery set up there. Should keep everyone happy. No more urns on the mantelpiece. The new hashtag cemetery is open. Brilliant. So you can see all the hearses going out to pick up all the dead people, which is good, I suppose. So you can see little crossbones and stuff. Skull and crossbones over here. Dead person waiting for transport. So that'll be sorted out quite quickly, which is good. So, this area over here has pretty much, I think, been built out. Yes, it has, apart from a few places over here. So what we're going to do now is basically just put some trees down, make it a little bit more dense, might even put some paths and stuff down, so maybe a few gravel paths, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So, what are we going to do? Most of have one from back of this person's house. Oops, don't want to do that. Should take that out. So, this one's may sort of come from here, just out around here like that, and then bring it sort of down here and like that. So there we go, a few little paths and stuff there. And sort of also maybe bring one through here. Where are we going with this one? Well, we don't really need one there, so what we might actually do is build one here. And come through to there, and then come around into there. So there we go, and just through here as well, like that. Then we're going to put down some trees. Some trees, random trees. All the trees, just to make it nice and just a little bit different. Try and be as random as possible, but obviously you know, it can't be perfect, so I'm going to do this, and having some trees around here will also help with the noise pollution, make sure it doesn't sort of creep in too far or anything like that or cause any sort of major problems. So I'm just going to do that, and maybe put a few bushes around and stuff like that. So there's one there, and maybe a few ones in someone's front yard over here. So let me create like a little hedge or something like that. Just do something a little bit different. So it would be cool, like I sort of mentioned, I think last episode, if we actually make sort of these hedges like they've got in this house model there. I think that would be quite cool if we could sort of do that one day. So hopefully maybe someone's actually sort of made some assets already and you can actually just download them. So that would be absolutely perfect. So I'm going to create this up through here. And maybe just another one sort of here. That, and just along someone's front drive like that. So there we go. I think probably maybe need a few more trees around the area. I suppose this is like a forestry area and it should be like quite, I guess, quite dense and stuff as well. So yes. So it's also sort of another thing that like sort of giving this like sort of the impression that sort of some of these houses have like backyards and things like that. So Something that's not really done, I guess, in the game at the moment. Like, I know some of them do, but sort of like not really proper backyards and stuff like that. So do something a little bit different. So there we go. So a little bit of a workers' quarters and stuff over there. So if you sort of go down to this level, it just looks a little bit more, you know, a little bit more sparsely populated and a little bit more sort of, a little bit more rural, and houses aren't quite so close together and all that kind of stuff. So just a little bit of a different look. So still going to repeat that technique, like I mentioned, sort of as we come further through. So sort of once we can't start building back from here, we'll start doing that, and just sort of gradually, hopefully gradually, sort of make it just a little bit more sparsely populated, and just to make it just a little bit different. So there we go. So we get our workers' quarters set up for our forestry people. It is good, and everything else is going along quite well. So what are we going to do now? So we've got a fair bit of, a little bit of residential demand. We do still have some zoning and stuff set up over here. Not a whole lot though. So, and sort of getting some more industrial demand as well. So we may actually, I think we may sort of expand up a little bit further. So we might start on that now. So use our gravel roads again, and freeform, and we're just going to basically build up along the coast like this, and do something like that. And what are we going to do? I think probably maybe do something, sort of come around down into this area like that, and maybe sort of bring our road out from here. Let's come around up like this, come up through and round into there like that, and might even bring another road through there just to connect into there. So some of this is a little bit sparse on the forest, but we can sort of actually fix that with, if we want to put down a bunch of trees and stuff, so won't worry about that for the moment. We're going to put down a bunch of extra forestry industry, which is good. I just realised we're going to have to need to expand our district, aren't we? Otherwise we're just going to get normal industry. So we're going to expand our district out up here like this, and just come through this way like that there, and we will actually, oops, I suppose we actually create a new one, can't we? Probably just for our workers' quarters over here. So we'll create a new one there like that. So that should be pretty good there. So still got our Point Piper forestry, and what are we going to call this? Probably not a heights one. It's probably not really a heights type of district, is it? Or area. What are we going to call it? Not quite sure. We may just call it the workers. We're actually going to call it the Point Piper Workers Camp. There we go. So that's good. So we got that one set up, which is nice. And everything else is going along quite well. So we're getting a fair bit of money. So 2,600 income per week, I suppose it is. I think it's per week. So that's quite good. So what are we going to do next? What is going to be our next big project? I think we're going to expand out our residential. So starting to get some of that build back up again. So I think that's probably going to be what we focus on next. And we're going to have to send up our water pipes like that. I think we're going to run one up through like this, like that, and that should cover most areas through there. So that should be good, and all of this area is covered, so that's good. So yeah, so I think we're going to expand out our residential area sort of out this way. So I think I'm going to leave sort of a buffer. I might sort of leave this sort of road running through the center through here, and this is sort of going to be like our main road, and we can upgrade that later on if we need to, and we'll leave it sort of gap on either side. So we may sort of do that and sort of base our build around that. So what are we going to do? Where are we going to run it? I think what we're going to do is run it through this way, like this, and then run it through. Is that what we're going to do? I'm not really sure. So maybe sort of have it come out a little bit further, like that. So this is probably going to be our main road, and we're actually going to build around this. So we build on either side, but we're going to leave the zones on either side of this road free, similar to what we've done here. So that'll be good, hopefully. So it looks a little bit weird, a little bit of the shape, but hopefully once we build it up, it should be more than fine. So what are we going to do first? I think we may sort of start from this end, actually. Maybe a little bit counterintuitive, but I think that's what we're going to do. So I think we actually sort of bring it out. Bring out a road like this, and run it along here, like not like that, like that. And then what we're going to do is basically sort of have some little one-way streets coming into this area. So probably another one here, like this. And another one right there. So like that. So just to do something just slightly different. They actually may start having some come off this end as well. So maybe sort of have it bring it out to there. It's all like one-way roads and all that kind of stuff is the sort of the vibe that we're going for. What now? Where are we going to go? I think what we may do is, if we can pull it off properly, sort of end this area with a sort of here like that, and around like this, and end it with like a circle sort of area like that. Do we want road connections coming from our main road in here? Probably do. Probably just want a couple though. Probably don't want too many. So if we leave one there like that. I suppose you don't really have one. Oh, I suppose we need to, don't we? Yeah, that probably makes sense, doesn't it? So what we might do is sort of have one there, and we're also going to have one, use the straight tool, bring one on our road there, and also bring one into there, so like that. So just give us a few sort of different entries into the areas, and make sure that one intersection and stuff isn't all clogged in. So that should work out quite well, hopefully. So we've got one there. I don't think we probably need one here. We might actually make another one down here, which probably makes a little bit more sense. So what we're going to do, we're going to build like this and build one there. So this is going to be basically the start of our new residential area, and we'll probably build back along here as well, but that may be a little bit further down the track. So this is all sort of park area, and we may fill in the trees a little bit further through here, but we're just going to leave this open for the moment. May actually put like a playground. We've like the Tangled Gardens or something would be quite good there. We can get Mayday actually, so if we just jump in to have a look, see if it's going to fit there. Where are we? Right at the end is Botanical Garden. So, thinking, no, it's not going to quite work because there's a curved road, which is a big, massive pain. So we may be even be able to modify that road perhaps, if it sort of really wanted there. Just sort of thinking, because there's lots of trees, like it's some parks and stuff around, it sort of seems like a good area for it. Right there would be kind of a cool place to have it, I think, so... Anyway, we'll leave that area for the moment, we can come back to that later. What we're going to do though, to start with here, is actually sort of start making it quite, actually no, I changed my mind, we're going to start from this end. So, what we're going to do, have this area still quite heavily dense, especially this sort of circle, like a cul-de-sac through here, and we're going to take off that one there. And then from this point we are slowly going to start making it a bit more sparse. And so what we're going to do, might do something like this, start leaving just a few lines here and there, and as we get further out it's going to get more and more sparse. So what we're going to do, we might leave it like that and do like this, something like that, fill all this in. Might fill this area in, and then sort of maybe have a gap here, like that, a bit of a gap there, fill all this in, and stuff like this. So we're going to have it like this. So just sort of here and there, and then as we get sort of further out, just make it more and more sparse, more and more gaps, and then hopefully it sort of gets the right effect that we're looking for. If not, I suppose we can always change it, can't we? Just demolish some poor people's houses. So I might sort of build into there like that. I might sort of leave that, see how it goes for now. So you need to put down some more water pipes. So I should be able to cover most of this area with one. So if we sort of get it like that there, join up to there, and might just bring us sort of a little outshoot into there just to cover that. So that should be quite good. So hopefully this area sort of starts building up quite quickly. Do have a fair bit of residential demand, so that's good. Put up the speed to 3, and so we've just got this one district here at the moment. So I think what we're actually going to do, might sort of start carving it up into different districts after this area is a little bit more developed. And so once we've populated all of this area and sort of built in behind there, then we're actually going to move over and build our new residential suburb right here. So, but for now I think that's working out quite well. Hopefully it should work out quite well. So, yeah, that should be pretty good. So everything's going on quite well. I haven't got a whole lot of commercial demand, but looks like most of these, I suppose there's a few ones that we demolished before. They're still waiting to be built, but they'll come back in slowly. Haven't got a whole lot of industrial, though it is coming back again. But we have got, I know we actually have filled in all of that area, so I've got a few gaps here that we've got to fix. So like that. And we might actually sort of just start expanding up here as well. Probably just makes sense to do that. So I'm just going to take off those. And that should be pretty good. Just make sure we've got lots of industrial demand, so hopefully it won't be a problem. I've got our area sorted out down here and a few houses along here. And that's pretty good. So I'm just going to fill in this area with a few trees again. And what we may do is sort of bring a track from there. Actually not from there, from there, hopefully, yep. So bring it around, sort of around the back of this house and sort of out down to this point down here. Just to do something, add a little bit of interest to it. And add some trees in around this area, so it's quite heavily forested, I think. These guys are on the main road, so you probably think they're going to want quite a bit of protection and stuff from cars and things going past, so it's probably pretty good for now. Maybe put a bush down there, one over here, and maybe one sort of right there at the end of the road, and one more over there. So there we go. We're going to see what that looks what it looks like a bit better in daylight. But for now, I think everything's going pretty well. You see these houses starting to be built in through here. So you get a few more gaps and stuff. So hopefully this effect sort of works out the way I want it to. May take a little bit of trial and error to sort of get it right. And it looks like we ran out of power again, which we have. So we're going to put down another advanced wind turbine. Doesn't really make any sense to build any of the other kind anymore. So definitely have these ones out here. So that one's there, so I'm actually going to build this one, I think probably out this way from it. So I'll build that one there. So there we go. So we got 2 wind turbines, advanced wind turbines now, which is good. So lots and lots of energy. Our water, it's actually getting down. I think are we at 100% or only at 90s now? So only at 90, so do have a bit more capacity. So I'm just going to bump this up to 100 again. There we go. And that's, yep, so there's still a fair bit of capacity there, so that's quite good. So one actually water pump actually goes a fair distance to, you know, so we're actually 3,700 now population and still got a fair bit of capacity there, so one water pump certainly does its work. So I'm going to check out the traffic now. So traffic is actually really good. So what's this little symbol? Not enough customers. I suppose that makes sense because you're away from residential, but that will be fixed soon. You're just going to have to deal with it for a while. So this area through here is obviously quite busy, but I think it's not sort of anywhere near sort of gridlock level. It is quite busy, but it's definitely manageable for the moment. May have to look at doing something a little bit different a bit later on, but for now it's fine. And even through our entrance through here is actually pretty good, so I could probably expect it to be a little bit worse at this point in the game. So we're running at 34 minutes, so I'm going to put a cut in here quite shortly, guys. And getting some different coloured houses, which is cool. So that's nice. I actually wonder whether it seems to be a little bit more like as the houses come up in levels, they sort of have some different models. So I'm not sure whether they've actually upgraded models or like for the expansion, whether there's sort of new housing models. It looks a little bit more varied than what it used to before. So It's quite interesting. I have to jump online and check out that, see if it's just me or it's actually sort of a real thing. So just going to have a look through here. So starting to get like all this area built up, but getting quite a few gaps and stuff as well, which is quite nice, and sort of a little room through here. We can put some paths and stuff through and sort of fill out this area a little bit more. So it's starting to look a little bit more sparse. Just a few gaps here and there sort of adds to the effect. And then further we'll sort of make it quite a little bit more rural, and do the same back here as well. Just seems to make a little bit more sense. Just adds a little bit of interest to the city. So pretty happy with how the city's going at the moment. Everything's ticking along pretty well. Getting a lot of residential, so I'm going to pause the game here. And then we are going to come back into the next episode and we'll put a whole bunch more residential and continue our city. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all soon.